Hello everyone and welcome to Tavern Talk. So for context, I played a lot of this game on stream. I think about 3/4 of it, more or less. And we have decided to retire this game from stream. If you want to see the previous episodes, make sure to check the description below. I will link the other streams where you can find the VODs. And I've decided to finish this as a recorded gameplay for the YouTube channel. So you will see spoilers if you haven't played this before or haven't seen any of it. Let me put myself in this corner here. I think that's better. So as you can see, we're in Act 3, Chapter, 18? Last time we played, the tavern flooded, and gosh, a lot happened. The tavern got flooded. To be fair, I think most of the country got flooded, so we still don't really know how that's going or how that happened, so hopefully we'll find out more. Okay, perfect. For those of you who also aren't familiar with the game, again, I don't recommend starting here. I would recommend checking out the other parts before. But it is a visual novel that is very inspired by games like Coffee Talk, and it is very D&D themed. So as you can see, there's different characters with their own classes and races and stories, and we kind of discover the story of this world through them. We ourselves don't seem to be leaving the tavern. And we serve them drinks, as you can see here. We don't know a whole lot about ourselves either. We kind of go by the innkeep. But from what we've gathered, apparently we're like a fake creature. So hopefully we'll find out more. There's also a very threatening, weird, shady letter that was sent to us.
Hello, innkeep. Look what I found.
Looks like a rare specimen of Archie to me. I am one of a kind.
You two know each other already? Of course you do. You know pretty much everyone in the city, huh?
Of course, he's quite the celebrity in town. Oh, I suppose I am. He's Zenith's most famous author. He even survived an assault by hordes of the vicious undead. Author! I guess I really am an author, yes.
Bummer, and here I thought I could surprise you.
How did you two meet?
I think he spotted me on the street. Must have thought I had a lot of stories to tell, so he asked me if he could write my biography.
Well, your unique way to call someone old. But she does have a lot of stories to tell. Archie, how many manuscript topics do you want to collect before you actually finish something? Well, you see, it's always important to collect ideas. Life itself is the best source of inspiration for any artist.
Look at him. He's so eager to write. I just couldn't refuse that look in his big, sparkly eyes.
Writing down ideas is just so much fun. There's the magical detective story, Fears and my adventure with the undead, and now Una's biography as well. It's fantastic. I suppose you're right. Una, how come you want your biography to be written now?
I don't really have a reason. I'm old, and I've seen a lot of stuff. Would be sad if all that knowledge went to waste, right?
It's not like you'll disappear any second now, is it?
Of course not.
Well, I guess you never know. I get it. A lot of terrible things have been happening lately.
Don't be silly. We'll be fine. It's always nice to see most of your friends return during times like these.
Most of them?
Stuff like this happens every few decades. It's completely normal.
If you say so. Are you going to pay Archie accordingly, though?
That's what I'm here for. I'm gonna pay him in drinks. I could also use a little refreshing drink myself.
I gotcha. Anything specific you'd like today, Archie? Just the same as always. A drink to stay focused on my writing, to defend my brain against all those distracting thoughts. Coming right up. Okay. A little defense drink should be pretty straightforward. We'll just make him a little steel tonic, that would do. Alrighty. Easy peasy. Here you go, a drink to boost your concentration. Thank you very much, your innkeeper. This is delicious. I can feel an irresistible itch in my fingertips already. I'm always happy to oblige. So Una, what's it for you today?
Maybe something that will give me enough strength and energy to tell this whippersnapper every little detail of my life. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Alright, give me a quick second. I'll be back with your drink. Okay, something with a brain, I assume. Oh no! Oh, we're going like full fighting. Okay. No brain, only bronze. That would probably do the job actually. And then we just add some of this. And one of these. Perfect. Some liquid stamina for the golden girl.
Let's see if your skills are to be trusted, Innkeep. Oh, Archie, I hope you're ready for at least 600 pages.
That's a lot.
But you already agreed, so you don't have a choice. And now, my dear Archibald, we'll begin with the writing. Thank you for your hospitality, Innkeep. I'll see you later.
Goodbye, Innkeeper. I'll remember to keep a copy of the book for you. Signed, please.
Of course.
Very well. Goodbye, you two. And off they go. What a weird pairing. But I actually see it. Oh my gosh, we haven't seen Minthy in like ages. I love the dog. So cute. Though probably dangerous. Finally, my service beasts and I have returned. Welcome back, Minthy. Good to see you, Innkeeper. And surprisingly, your tavern's dry interior. I thought you might be appreciating the dampness of almost everything nowadays. Maybe while underwater, but wheels and mud do not mix. On land, I appreciate structurally sound and smooth wood flooring much more than soggy alternatives. That bad. You would too. Just step a few minutes past your tavern. Then you might get an idea of the things jammed in my spokes and smooshed between Casket and Kane's toes. I'll pass, and besides, stories from my patrons are much more enjoyable. Speaking of, how did the pearl hunt go? Honestly, it wasn't all too eventful, but before I go on, I could do with one of your drinks, Innkeeper. Something to keep my mind clear of any irrelevant distractions for the journey back. Let me see what I can do. Okay. Brain this time. Okay, this time we're actually doing something brainy. How did I do this one again? Nope. 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 Oh, that would do. Perfect. I always think the feather is in this one because it's an owl or I guess a bird themed drink. But nope. No feather. And one up. Lovely. May this inspire boundless creativity. Just what I needed. If only I had a boundless supply of this drink while writing at my desk. And unfortunately, my establishment doesn't do deliveries. What a shame. But before you go on, I actually have something else for you. Ah, and here I thought I'd have to needle you for it again. What a pleasant surprise. Oh yeah, her manuscript. So last time she asked us if we had proofread it because it had been like 20 years since we had it, and we totally hadn't. So, my favorite kind. Here, a completely proofread manuscript, I hope. I certainly hope it's completed. Since my retrieval and your proofreading have been such a long time in the making, yes? Right. Long in the making. You should probably wash that red ink off your hands before it stains your mugs. Oh, right. I was editing my recipes all night. Crazy story, actually. For another time, that is. I see. I will say, it's good to have these papers back in my hands. May I inquire as to why you asked for them back now? I've decided to finally publish a book. What I've written about, it's very dear to my heart. And I'm happy to finally get to share my writing with the world. Minthy the author, it has a nice ring to it. It'll be Mackenzie Catron Pichon, actually. Very nice pen name. It was time I finally chose one, and something universal at that. Procrastination is a curse all of its own. Sure is. So about the pearl, or pearls? Protection pearls. Like I said, it wasn't too eventful. Had tea with the banshee of the lonesome lagoon, and she traded me the pearls for objects of her desire. Mostly I promised her a signed copy of the book. Good for her. You know, I've been meaning to ask if I may, What do you need the pearls for exactly? I know you're looking into them, but I was never quite sure why.
Well, I'm sure you remember the curse I was bestowed with.
Yes, the cursed parasitic rings that amplify your magic to a painful degree.
Exactly those. They cause quite a lot of issues for me and my body. Sometimes it feels like the magic is eating away at me, slowly feasting on my organs and nerves. It's tearing me apart from the inside out as it gradually takes my health and life. The protection pearls help me keep the mana in check. They bring it down to manageable levels. It helps the pain a lot.
So you're saying you turned the pearls into a drink?
Wonderful to see that your first solution is still that to everything. Yes, on occasion, mostly I grind them into ink for my tattoos. They're very versatile little beauties.
I'm happy you can find some of them. Now that I think about it, care to share? Sure, that'd be great for my drinks.
Not so fast. For most people, they just amplify mana to ridiculous and dangerous degrees. Now, I don't want to be held responsible for the chaos your patrons could cause. However, maybe I can offer you something less extreme but still energizing. Here.
Ooh, cursed coffee. Ooh. Is this your infamous coffee recipe? After all these years, you finally trust me with it.
It's time. I think you can finally make it without poisoning someone.
I'll do my best. Thank you, Menthe.
Perhaps I will also help you keep your promise in time. Anyhow, I think we're due to take our leave.
Need to make some ink?
Something like that. Plus, I promised Casket and Kane would check if any of the primordial tennis balls got washed up by the flood.
I think I might have some in the bushes.
I'll have them take a look on our way out. If all else fails, we'll just have to summon us up some.
Blah, can't speak. Nothing ears into that.
Enough charisma, you can wish for anything, I suppose. It's lovely to see you again, Innkeeper.
Likewise, best of luck on your journey. Don't forget to send me a copy of the book.
If you promise to not forget about its existence this time,
I'll do my very best.
I know you will, friend.
I know you will.
Damn. Also kitty in front of my camera.
Oh, pretty short day. Okay. Lovely. I hope we see Menthe again soon. She's not even in my registry of customers, I think. Okay, next day, day 19, remnants. Oh no, I've got to sneeze. Hold on. Oh my god, my cat was sleeping on my lap and left. I'm sorry, Daisy. I scared you. Anyway, Jade, welcome back. Was your quest successful? When have I ever failed? Well, you do look surprisingly unbloodied. Also, hello, Kumo. Kumo? Who's Kumo? That guy. New name, I'm guessing? No names here. Never had a name. Don't even know what names are. Am I just supposed to go along with that? You're supposed to make me a drink. Then we can talk. Fair enough. What can I get you? I've still got plans after this, but Onyx is pretty tired. So give me something that will keep her up with my speed if I let her have a sip. Anything for Onyx. Oh, we love Onyx, I assume. Onyx is the little turtle, which is adorable. 3, I think I should be able to make this without any infusions. All the beginning drinks usually are doable without. But there we go. Nice. Alrighty. A drink for Onyx and you, but mostly Onyx. Not too bad. Concerning to see you know me so well. Oh, whoa. Music's so good. Being a regular does have its perks. So, names? Let's start with the story first. You love those, right? You know it. I'll spare you the details of my journey to Borkham. So I didn't miss a chance to make some extra money along the way. Everyone thought I was the right woman for their jobs. They helped me with the quest too. Squeezed a good description of the renegade parents out of some red dune merchant, who was in a deep dispute with a blue-crowned elephant. I'd love to hear that story, actually. Not my problem. Asking a couple of pointed questions got me to the inn the deadbeats were staying at. Problem with people is, can't exactly kill them in broad daylight. With monsters, you'd be thanked for doing so. But with people, you've got to be patient. So I did what anyone would have done in this situation. I posed as a tour guide. And they believed you. Sure did. Nico is right. He thinks I'm great for pulling scams. Happy to hear that. Offered them a tour of the nearby Wadden Sea. Then led them to an area I knew was shunned by actual tour guides because of the unpredictable tides. Gave them a spiel about how Battle of the Order of Star took place there, yada yada yada. Pretty soon, their eyes were glued to some starfish playing in the mud. It was the perfect opportunity to get it over with quickly. Obviously, I wasn't going to kill them just then. They needed a chance to run, but I had to scare them first. I raised my spear right above my head and was about to go for a warning strike when I heard a zinging sound. I deflected the knife that was flung my way at the last second, and it shattered against the ground. All three of us turned and saw this cloaked echo reaching for another knife. He had his hood pulled up, knives and daggers strapped all over his body. Even the air seemed to go darker around him. Looked like a real shadow vein. I chained under them. Impressive. Those deadbeats thought I was protecting them from him. Should have seen the look on their face when I said I was there to kill them. Turned back, waiting to refocus on my warning strike, when I was interrupted by a simple stop. It was said in this deep, raspy, incredibly fake voice that sounded like some sort of proper degenerate. Like the two bums thought we were fighting about who would get to kill them. Their approach to such a situation was to immediately try and bribe us. I told them to shut it. They asked me what I wanted then, if it wasn't money or words. So I turned to a little shadowbane and asked what he wanted. But he stood there, quietly. Can't blame him, they're a little scarier than your parents. So you helped him with the decision? Not exactly. I walked over to him and handed him my spear. She said, "This is your choice. Make it." It felt like she was passing some of her courage onto me. He stepped forward, my spear in his hand, and took off his hood. I'll spare the details. They recognized him, of course. I had the audacity to act surprised. Surprised is one way to put it. When they talked, they sounded so like they thought I had died. You could have, they left you. I wanted to say something. Anything. Yell, tell them to get lost, scream at them for what they'd done to me, but all that came out was, "Why did you leave?" The silence went on for so long. Would have been longer if those tides hadn't come rushing in. You did kind of walk into that one. Kind of. Luckily I was quick. Got all of us up on some muddy rock that the waves couldn't reach. How long were you up there for? A couple of hours. Left us a lot of time to talk. Did you? Yes, a lot. For example, did you know the primordial flood was caused by the pyre erupting? The pyre? You mean the biggest volcano in all of Asteria, nestled right in Leviathan's domain? Yeah, apparently it erupted and then collapsed. Covered all of the primordial sea in ash and set off a tsunami. It should not be doing that. No. Do you think powerful magic was afoot? Probably not. What use is a giant tsunami to anyone? Maybe they want to be wet? Probably not. Are tsunamis and their causes all you and your parents talked about? No, we mostly talked about the leaving thing. They said not a day went by where they didn't regret what they had done. I asked why they didn't come back then. They didn't have an answer for that. Mom said she was proud of my knife-throwing skills, though. Never thought they'd apologize. They owned up to all of it, as awful as it was. I hadn't planned for that. They want to make up for everything and be a part of my life. They also said it was up to me, what I wanted. What do you want? A family. Is that stupid? No, it's not. So you forgave them? No, not yet. I have to see if they actually mean what they said first. Can't trust them right now. We don't really know each other anymore. Who knows if we'll get along. But they did say they want to get to know me, and I think I might like that too. They're just so different. It feels like I'm angry at people that don't exist anymore. You're still allowed to be angry. Even if they change, they hurt you. Neither forgiveness nor forgetting is required. It just feels unfair, like I'm harboring resentment for ghosts. But I'll try to be honest with them. I owe that to myself. Plus, Jade threatened to decapitate me. Decapitate them if they ever hurt me again. They would stand no chance. None. Could I have a drink now too? Sure, let's treat. Right. A secret? No, a name. I assume Jade didn't know you as Kuma because your parents didn't call you that. Correct. What did they call you then? I'm not. I'll trade you my name. Just give the guy a drink. Your first name? Those are quite precious to Maida, right? Very. See, it's a secret to trade for. I'm listening. Alicia. It's a beautiful name. I don't respond to flattery, but thank you. It's definitely better than mine. Yours fit you. It does not. If you say so. So not, Alicia, what would you like in exchange? Maybe something that will stop me from choking on my words. In case I have to do more of this emotional thing. I've definitely got something for that. Is that gonna be a charisma one, or? Doing his voice is pretty exhausting. That should work fine. Honestly, whenever I streamed this game, it would absolutely wreck my voice. No wonder. Okay. Here you are, some fluid emotional vulnerability. Tastes a lot better than it sounds. Feels a lot better too. Maybe. I still need to call you something else though, if Kumo is out. It is. What have you got for me then? Oh, sorry, I didn't need that to pop up. Let me turn my stream notes overlay out. That's better. I'm running out of names. Jade, can I? Nope, my name. Fine, how about, Dave? You know what, sure, I'll go with that. I'm proud of you, Dave. For everything you've gone through, and for choosing what's right for you. Thank you. Aw, that's kinda sweet, to be honest. Do you need a hug? May have already gotten one from Jade. Speaking of me, I've got to go. Want to check in with Grace and her goons. See you around, airboy. See you around. Why did it open, Alicia? What about you? Care to linger a little longer? I need some time to think all this over. Maybe even feel it too. Is Fable back yet? I think cheesecake would make for a great distraction right about now. No, I thought maybe you ran into them on the way back. I didn't. So Melly isn't back yet either? No, I'm afraid not. Cool, great. I guess I'll talk to Carlin? Your parents? Maybe. Do you think they still love me? I don't know. I hope they do. I hope they'll love you well, but I don't know. I don't know that other people love you. Also, I do know that other people love you. And that if your parents fail to live up to what you deserve, you won't be loved any less. I'd like to believe that. Sometimes I just think, if even my own parents could leave me, anyone can. Don't measure your worth by the actions of people that hurt you. Nothing good can come of that. I'm very thankful to have met you. Anyway, I'm also part of the night or whatever, so I must go. Farewell. See you soon. Aww. Man, they really got some of the best character development in the game. Just really good and interesting. Nice. Okay, day 10 Chaos Protocol. The 30th kind of rings a bell. I feel like we're quite close to the... Oh, 35th. Okay, we have 5 days. Also, Melly's back! Oh my god, she's alive! To be fair, I didn't expect the game to actually kill her off. It didn't seem like that kind of game. But she's been gone for a while. Damn.
Innkeeper, surprise!
Nice to see her back. Is Fable with you?
No, should they be?
They were looking for you.
They aren't a very good detective then.
I'm happy to see you're well, Melly. Everyone was very worried about you.
Why? I'm great at taking care of myself.
You are, but where have you been all this time?
Investigating things, obviously. Like the flood. My investigation led me to Morlia. Or more like, they did. Nico, Voy, and Hex, I followed them to Morlia. They were talking about mysteries and puzzles. I'm trying to solve a mystery, so... I couldn't let the opportunity pass me by.
You're lucky. People usually pay a lot of money to spend time with me.
Why?
Because I'm, like, famous?
But I didn't go there because of you. I was following clues.
Okay.
I stayed outside. My case isn't about a wizard. Not this time.
Where's Hex anyway? You know, doing wizard things. Like... arson? That would have been fun, but instead he chose to study. He immediately wanted to check out the spells we found. Though he seemed pretty disheartened. How come? Not sure. I guess he didn't find what he was looking for. Maybe because the world's greatest treasure was already traveling with him. What would that be? Me? Never mind. He told us to keep an eye out for any time magic razzle dazzle. But we found nothing. At least he managed to get inside and return safely. Yeah, the way there was easy peasy. We got there thanks to Nico pulling off a shape-shifting trick and pretending to be a merchant. Stole some guy's coat and face and used his reputation to secure us a boat ride to Morlia. Said I want to meet with a real estate agent from the Magicracy to buy the island. I told him to pick us up in a week or so, by then we'd be far gone. What happened once you reach the island? I'm quite intrigued. Before I tell you anything, I'd like a drink. Something that goes down like honey and will make my porchy flow like a wild river. Nothing easier than that. I know, is it? I guess it's a charisma, yeah. Doesn't seem like the easiest thing in the world to me, though. I'll go with that again. To be fair, there's a few recipes I just kind of know how to do, and this is one of them. Boop. Some honey for those vocal cords. Enjoy! That's what I'm talking about. Amazing. Can we move on to the story now? You got somewhere to be? No, but I'm getting bored. We got to Morlia, an island so small it's basically the tower's wild backyard. As I walked between the crystal and roses, I expected to see secret passageways hiding behind every corner. I almost brought you back a rose. Why didn't you? I thought you wouldn't like it. I would have. Oh, okay, moving on. The tower itself reached so high, I thought it might be reaching out to kiss the moon itself.
It was really tilted. At about a 5-degree angle, I measured it with my paws. The bricks were still wet. I'm sure the tsunami took its foundation.
Would think the waves would have done us a favor and knocked on the door, but nope. That locked door was the first challenge. Uniko's lockpicks broke. Seemed like a skill issue. Broke? Skill issue? Bro, the door ate my lockpicks! A door mimic. Classic first step to securing the establishment.
You talk like you've seen one before.
Have you tried to open my door when the inn's closed?
No.
If you do, don't use any lockpicks and take care of your fingertips. So how did you get inside? By charming it. Hex forgot his spellbook and couldn't get the arcane lock unlock spell to work. And obviously he wouldn't just let us in like that. So I decided to play the mimic a tune. Yeah, that was amazing, bro. Your fancy tunes are the GOAT. I was nervous. I'd never played in front of a mimic before, so I wasn't sure what that tasty music was. I decided to play something emotional, something that would melt its metaphorical heart. Song of Woe. Who would have thought it would literally melt? Yeah. I began playing the first tune and the lock started weeping before I reached the chorus. Tears were streaming down its face. And as if they were made very hot or made of acid, the door melted away. Afterwards, the lock lay in a puddle of wood, sobbing and thanking me for my performance.
That's not a very sturdy lock.
It sounds very in touch with its emotions. We stepped over the door's remains and into the tower. It was so much taller and bigger on the inside. Like a pocket dimension. So freaking cool. Except a tower can't really fit in your pocket. Bet. Hex walked ahead. Guy was really distracted. He didn't even listen to my poem about the symbiotic relationship between Hex and door. For a long time, we didn't encounter anything. Just a long hallway. No doors, only a bunch of strange paintings. Of course, most hallways can't go on forever, so eventually, we reached the staircase. After it felt like 5.5 minutes. Eternity!
Meanwhile, I was outside, investigating the flora and fauna. Everything was very peculiar, like it was from another world. The colors were different, very blue and almost spectral. And there were a lot of spiderwebs, or yarn, not sure which. Suddenly, the ground shook and almost knocked me off my feet.
Who could have guessed there were pressure plates on those stairs? I wasn't paying attention, I was too careless. One wrong step and a pressure plate triggered an explosion and... clonk! The whole staircase became crumbling down into a pit of nothingness. Bit by bit, starting from the bottom. I rushed upwards to safety, away from the weird wizard abyss. I stumbled, and if it hadn't been for Hex, I'd be mush. He grabbed my hand and pulled me up. But he isn't really the strongest, so we almost tumbled down together instead.
I figured I couldn't just leave them to fall to their pathetic destiny, so I zoomed down to grab Hick's base collar and pulled both him and Voy Boy back up.
Thank you for saving us, Nico.
No problem, Voy Boy. Don't get used to it.
Didn't you expect a trap like that? After all, a great wizard wouldn't want to protect a treasure.
Would want. Oh my god. Let's do that again.
After all, a great wizard would want to protect the treasure.
I guess you're a little distracted by all the gold hanging from the walls. The staircase ended in a wondrous library that spiraled endlessly higher around the tower's inside walls. We lost Hex at the bottom and the first roof bricks. A lot of them were drenched. Didn't seem like the tower was waterproof. There was still primordial water dripping from somewhere above.
We couldn't make out the ceiling. Tried to reach it though. The second story of the spiral staircase library had 3 paths leading away.
Each path ended in a door, and all 3 doors were closed and marked with runes or paintings or rusty old locks. I got sucked into looking at the library's beautiful murals. Each of them depicted a different story. One of them was a mosaic of mirrors. That one was my favorite.
Watching Hex look at books was like reading a thriller. Almost every second book was rigged with a trap, but he figured out the pattern quickly. Something Fibonacci, I don't know.
Once I was able to pry myself away from the murals, I started looking for spell things. I knew Hex was most interested in those, and you help when you can.
I didn't. I mostly looked at all the small treasures lying around. The wizard had this really cool staff with a chunker or gemstone embedded at the top. Imagine the damage I could do with that. But I also found something else that was really cool. Here, take a look.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's dope, right?
What is this?
A weather jar, duh. Shows what the weather's like in another realm.
I see. Let me guess. Avalon?
I knew you'd get it.
I found some spell scrolls. One of them had golden runes on it. Hex liked that one, but he didn't love it, Then nestled between a few red velvet armchairs, I found a glass case. It had a golden frame and a scroll placed inside, neatly in the middle. The scroll was floating and all that. I knew Hex was mostly looking for spells, so I called for him. As soon as I mentioned an oddly floating scroll, he came sprinting upwards, staring at the glass case. He already had another scroll tucked into his coat. Honestly, I was expecting him to be carrying half the library at that point. But I guess that would have been too heavy for him.
Of course, the stupid glass case was also a puzzle.
Had no lock, no lid, no nothing. Just glass in a gold frame.
The scroll itself was a promising blue. I suggested breaking the glass. Hex gave me his finest death glare.
So he investigated the puzzle himself.
While we were doing boring side quests, I made sure to stuff my pockets. Found a jeweled silver paperweight shaped like a bird that'll make for a great blunt weapon.
Hex was too scared we'd destroy the scroll by triggering another contraption, so he suggested we look around in the adjacent rooms.
The riddle doors.
Hex only had to look at them for a mere second before figuring them out. Apparently, all those murals and runes were referencing a story hidden inside the library.
So he made us search for it.
It was tricky. We didn't want to trigger the book traps after all. It was like the library knew that would tempt us the most. We kept seeing books about forgotten songs, rare instruments, and romantic poetry.
And I saw books about burglary and fraud.
Even had to tackle you to the ground on time so you wouldn't blow us all up.
Who can resist a good scheme?
It's kinda exciting, seeing Hex hop up and down the stairs looking for the right books. First password was password. The second password was passwords past the password.
And the third one was passwords past the password's password?
You wish, but no.
It was 1, 2, 3, 4.
Easy to crack, good for you.
The first room was an alchemy lab, full of apparatuses we had never seen before. Most of the liquids had gone dry, but Hex insisted on taking whatever was left with us anyway.
Wouldn't let me taste any though. The nerd was more interested in the study hidden behind the second door.
He is really determined to crack all of the old wizard's mysteries.
We helped where we could, but listen, I only have like 3 brain cells.
The soundscape of the tower was kind of depressing. Silence broken only with the dripping of water and the creaking of old wood, so I sweetened it with a song.
It's very easy to get into the flow with that bomb music, boyo.
Thank you. Hex didn't find a key to the glass case, but he at least found a blueprint showing how it was built. Maybe he can find out how to open it using that. That'd be nice. He was pretty beaten up about everything though.
Yeah, I couldn't find what he was looking for.
Not even in the third room.
No. That one was a gem. Didn't know wizards worked out.
Maybe it was just a distraction from the hidden vault. A hidden vault?
Easy.
Anything good in there?
Oh yeah, more than our arms could carry.
Bunch of artifacts, most of them probably cursed.
which makes them even cooler. But Innkeep, you don't even know the funniest part yet. Enlighten me. The whole time the wizard had a spare key to the tower under the doormat. Oh no, the oldest habit of all time, and we didn't even think about checking for it.
I did, but I wanted them to find it for themselves. When they left the tower, I was at the Rita's Jade. She had arrived a while ago to pick us up and was teaching Onyx new tricks.
She helped us heave all the loot onto her boat. We couldn't take everything with us, so we decided to head back there another day.
There's one thing that doesn't make sense in the equation though.
That would be.
Iniko, Void, and Hex traveled all alone, except for me, their stowaway. Yet I found a fresh set of footprints by the coast before Jade ever arrived, like there was a fifth person on the island. Maybe someone was there just shortly before us.
We didn't even notice lol, just like we didn't notice Melina.
Sorry for staying hidden so long.
Don't apologize, I think it just proved your skills as a detective. I've got a lot to learn from you.
What a story! I can't wait to share it with Archie.
I'll be on my way now. Aw, that's so sweet. Gotta check up on Hex and make sure he didn't accidentally take a book mimic home. You coming with me, Co? Sure thing. So long, Innkeep. Goodbye, Innkeeper. Don't miss me too much. I'll try not to. Yay, let's go!
Now it's just you and me, Innkeeper.
Indeed. I'm glad you're back.
You're making it sound like I was lost or kidnapped. I was just investigating.
Without telling anyone?
I don't need to tell anyone where I'm going.
People care about you, Melly. They get worried if they don't know where you are.
Oh, I'm not used to that. But I care about people too, like you.
Oh, that's good to hear. Aww. Let's go, reunited. Melly.
Hi, Aura.
Hi, Dave. Oh, that name is so outdated. You're back.
I am. Did you miss me?
Did I? I was just very worried. What?
You called me Melly.
What about it?
You've never done that before.
I'm sure I have.
You even said you'll never call me Melly.
I'm just glad you're back. Welcome back to my tavern, Dave.
That's a cute one.
Yeah, I got it on my latest quest.
Dave, you made a good choice. I also went on a quest. Well, first I wanted to find the moon swamps. You know, the mysterious magical swamps that is said to be magically hidden and only appears in the fog, but
oh my god, sorry, my cat's in front of screen.
In foggy but starry nights. I heard there's somewhere in the moon swamp near the portal to the Twilight Chasm.
And did you find anything?
No, I did find some weird way markers made of bones that seemed to lead somewhere. They had "Do Not Touch" written on them, and the paint even seemed fresh, so it looked like the perfect clue. But then suddenly there were just gallons of water everywhere. Luckily I got away quick, since I was already there. As best detective, it was my duty to discover the flood's origins. Well, at first I was more stowaway than a detective. I also couldn't figure out what...
Don't storm off like that ever again, do you understand? I was so worried, and no one knew anything about your whereabouts. No.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled at you like that. It's just, I haven't cared about anyone in so long. Oh my gosh. And with you and Fable both suddenly gone, I didn't know what to do.
I thought you didn't care. After you went away, even though I asked you to be more careful. I thought maybe you didn't want to be my trusted assistant after all. So I went to investigate alone.
I'm sorry for leaving.
It's alright, I'm used to people leaving and not coming back.
Poor thing. I do care, Melly. I'm just kinda new to this whole honesty thing. Kinda new to this whole empathy thing.
Yeah, I figured.
If you like, I could fix you a drink to help you find your words again. Don't know if I'm up for trading another secret in exchange. It's on me today. I've got enough to worry about. So let me see what I can do for you. Okay. Is that gonna be like charisma? Yeah. Ooh, I've got new drinks. Yeah, the cursed coffee. But I don't think that will do the job. Okay, 3 of that. 1 of this. And 1 here.
Enjoy your magical liquid eloquence.
It doesn't taste half bad. This might actually help. So, your quest. Jade said you're stranded on Morlia.
Yep, I followed 3 very suspicious looking fellows and somehow ended up on that island. Why do I always run into wizards and magic when I'm on autumn adventures? And traps, magical traps everywhere.
Sounds very dangerous.
A detective's always seeking thrills. I'll make sure to be careful, I promise.
It's not about that. I know how you know how to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you wouldn't have solved the T-Rex case.
Heh!
But don't keep putting your own life at risk in exchange for a quick adventure. Luckily, nothing major happened this time. This could all have ended very differently.
I know.
All I'm saying is, don't disappear again. Please. You're not alone anymore. You don't have to do everything by yourself.
Like you're one to talk.
I think you've got a point, Melly. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to him as well, Melly. You're both guilty. But you two have also made a lot of progress already. Glad both of you made it back safely. Heard anything from Fable yet? No, not yet.
What about Carlin?
She came back after the flood. Currently, she's investigating some undead sightings in the Pale Woods.
Do you know when she'll be back?
No, but the 2 of you can wait here if you want.
Yes, please. I want to wait until Carlin gets back.
Alright, I'll keep you company. How about I spice your wait with another drink? I'll pass.
Oh, I'd like one, please.
Of course, do you want something specific?
The whole adventure was pretty exhausting. Maybe something to combat my mental tiredness.
Nothing easier than that. Okay, I guess, yeah, it's a brain one. Ooh! Oh no, this cursed coffee doesn't work. That's a shame. It was something like this. Now I finally remember the Silent Owl recipe. Alright. And then one of these. Let's see if this will wake you up again.
Oh, thank you. This is delicious. I can feel my synapses connecting. You know, now that I've had some time to think about it, I think I figured out why Hex was so bummed out about the loot.
Care to share your insights with us?
But of course, he has a younger sister, right? Which always struck me as odd. She looks much older than him. So what if she just ages faster than he does? He expected to find some very special loot in the Wizard Tower, but he didn't find it. So what if he was looking for something to extend her life? Like a scroll of immortality.
What a foolish idea.
Hey!
Not you, Hex. Even if it's tempting, those are powers that no one should interfere with.
I agree. What if she turns into a zombie? I've had enough of them.
Definitely.
We should tell him when we see him again. Or maybe we should tell Caroline when she returns. She seems to be experienced in dealing with the undead. You think it will be a long time before she gets back?
I don't know, it could be very soon, but it could also take a few more days. You've had a long day. Aren't you tired, Melly?
No. I'm not tired at all.
Let's wait for a little bit longer. Maybe she'll show up and Fable with her.
Sounds good.
Did she fall asleep? Yeah. Maybe I should bring her home and wrap this up for tonight. That's a good idea. You should get some rest as well. I'll let you know if I hear anything about Caroline or Fable. Alright, there's not much for me to do otherwise. Except care for Melly. She needs you. Yeah, I think you might be right. Good night, Dave. You know, forget about it. See ya. I think maybe he was gonna tell us his name or something. I'm not sure. You know, when I don't spend half my time talking with Shad, I actually get through the game pretty quick, it turns out. Okay. Act 3 still. 11. Disaster, Tea and Revelations. Ooh, they're back. It's been ages. Welcome back. It's good to see you both again.
Hold your enthusiasm, innkeeper. We're being tales of disaster.
I don't mind a little disaster in my tales. After all, you tell them so well. She really does. As do you, Clay. Thank you. I hope my stories are as good as your drinks.
They are to me. Speaking of which, can I offer you a drink in exchange for a little insight into your disaster?
That'd be great.
Something that feels strong and magic-y, right?
Remembered. Yeah, that one, please.
Coming right up. Okay. Oh, it's just a strength one. I'll make him the cursed coffee. That one's been like a while. Or I don't think I've ever made it actually. That should work. There we go. And then... Okay. Nice. Doesn't look like coffee at all. Something tasty and strong, but hopefully not disastrous.
Very tasty, very strong. You've really got the best drinks around.
Happy to hear that, Clay. Tia, you're bursting at the seams. How are the archives?
Fun!
Were they? Mayhaps. The bleak stalkers were... bleak? Cute.
Cute? Very! Jay told us that you find the entrance to the archives. But when we got there, we found it surrounded by bleak stalkers.
They were quite numerous. And so shaped.
I decided to ask him if he could let us through.
And I thought he might need some help with that. So I called on your honey flowers and extended my divine light to him. I made him glow softly, and they all flocked to him like moths to a gentle flame. Did you know they have velvet wings they can fold into their bodies? I didn't. That's fascinating.
They were so cuddly and showed off their crawling skills in exchange for carrots. I asked them if they'd like to be our tour guides, and they were so excited. They'd never been tour guides before, and at first they thought it would involve eating people.
I might have acted a bit standoffish when trying to correct their misconception. Clay was able to convey the message much better. He's very good at explaining things.
I think he really understands people. Why is one of the options just calling him stupid?
And that helps him meet them where they're at.
I try to. Everyone has their own way of understanding things. I think that's beautiful.
I envy your empathetic approach to life, Clay.
Thank you, but you've got your own strengths. Like how you're master strategy, or how you're so good at making people feel safe.
Oh, I suppose we make a great team. The best, I might say.
We make a great team with the Bleak Stalkers too. They let us right inside their archives, which were huge.
Large parts of the Everbloom had collapsed, but even the explorable sections were unbelievably spacious. We had no time for a proper tour, unfortunately. We had to make it back in time for the barbecue after all. That meant we had to be efficient during our search. Though we did take a break to admire the artist's hall the creatures excitedly led us to. We found abandoned pottery equipment that distracted us a little too much. Using more time than was perhaps appropriate, we molded tiny versions of the little critters as a gift to them.
They loved them.
Afterwards, we split up to cover more ground. Each of us was guided by a group of bleak stalkers. A dangerous choice, that's when the monsters get you. That's what Clay said, so I enchanted the friendship bracelets. That way they would always sense in which direction the other person was located, so neither of us would get lost.
He was so smart.
It was very useful.
I see you kept yours on.
I did.
Aww. They really help with navigating around the archives too. It's a beautiful place, you know. I mean, everything's overgrown with vines, or withered, or full of termites. But we could still tell how much care had gone into building it. Some of the tree branches still had leaves on them, and I saw a couple of stubborn lotus daisies try to break through the rocks. I taught the bleak stalkers how to water them. They loved drinking out of the watering can, but they also enjoyed sharing their water with the lotus daisies. Hopefully they'll grow stronger again soon.
What a shame all the effort that went into building the archives was for nothing.
But it wasn't. It meant something to someone once, and I could still feel the love in it even during our visit. Maybe it will even bloom again. It's called the Everbloom, right? Like forever. I wonder who named it. We should go back sometime and see if we can find any information about the archivists. I bet they knew some great drinking games.
Perhaps we should honor their contributions by studying the knowledge they left behind.
Why not both? There should be people first, symbols second.
Oh yes, I guess both would work too. Good idea, Clay.
What else did you find in the archives, besides friends and the beauty and horrors of time, I mean? I got a little distracted when I asked on your friends to point me towards the cooking section. It was so vast. Found so many new bread recipes I can't wait to try out. I also found something for you.
For me?
Yes, a recipe from a book of mixology. First I thought I'd taken the whole thing, but it was a giant tome and the bleak stalkers were so attached to it. So I ripped out the page that looked the most interesting.
We thought it would fit your repertoire.
I think it does. Thank you very much. Ooh, that looks really good. Love it.
As for me, I asked them to lead me towards dangerous knowledge and soon found myself in a hidden study. The bleak stalkers didn't want to go inside, like they were scared of its contents. So I rewarded them with some treats and ventured inside alone. It was a complete mess, full of scriptures, scrolls, and written ramblings that would be forbidden these days. A little exciting. Hence worrying. The papers I was able to translate spoke of the apocalypse, the end of it all. There was research on the roots of the ether tree and how to combine them, written with shaking hands and fading ink.
Was this more the scholarly or mad scientist type of research?
Hard to tell. The lines tend to blur with blasphemy.
Do you know a lot about the ether tree? Because Chia gave me a whole presentation about it.
I wouldn't mind a refresher.
It's a giant tree.
Good start.
A world tree. That means our world rests on it, in it, around it, somewhere.
In it, mostly.
Depends on who you ask. Do dragons guard the tree because they created it? Maybe, but definitely because they care for us. And since we live in it, it should keep existing as it does now, because no one wants their house to crumble. A lot of people would get hurt if something happened to everyone's home.
That's true, but luckily for us, damaging the ether tree isn't possible. It's larger than we could ever imagine. To us, it's really more of a concept than a tree. And the dragons defend it, despite their oath of neutrality. They're no easy foes. There is one way. The sigils of Alcahest.
The what now?
The sigils of Alcahest. They're the key to destroying the ether tree, according to the scrolls I studied under the archive's candlelight.
Are they some sort of spell?
More of a manual to self-fulfilling prophecy, a way of breaking the cosmos in accordance with its own rule. For the tree to crumble, its foundation must be fractured. The 5 sigils of Alcahest represent the 5 dragons, each of which must be damaged to topple our world's balance. Only then can our cosmos reshape itself. The scroll spoke of experiments for creating a sigil, unsuccessful experiments.
That's reassuring.
Not quite. They were only unsuccessful back then. Next to the notes of old, I find others, written on cleaner new parchment with unfaded ink. Much of it was incomprehensible, written in languages I've never seen before. But various sketches of whales caught my eye, as did altered frostbite scrolls. That sounds unsettlingly familiar. I fear that the starfall broke a sigil. By ripping holes into Cassiopeia's wings, it destabilized her flight. If she's damaged any further, time could be sent into disarray. Meanwhile, the tsunami, like I heard, didn't just plague the archives. The waves broke down the barriers between the primordial sea and the twilight chasm in ways never seen before.
So that's 2 broken sigils? That's not good.
What an incredible understatement.
To witness one such sigil fracture would be anxiety-inducing enough. Knowing it has happened to 2 will keep me up for many nights.
It's not 2, it's 3.
3? Oh, Trace, that's not good at all.
Alongside the notes, I found an old map with fresh markings. All the names are outdated, but the intentions was clear. Marked were the 5 interplanar portals. 30 years ago, their sudden appearance tore fissures into Gaia. I believe they were the first sigil.
Bad, right?
Very. Who could have done this? I don't know. And why, of all things? If the ether tree collapsed or even shifted from its perfect balance, the destruction would end us all.
Who would want that?
Oh, I didn't see what I clicked. These could also be natural occurrences. The whale was cursed by someone who attacked it. The biggest volcano in all of Asteria collapsed without a warning sign. Portals to other planes don't just randomly open by themselves. Someone is doing this. To think otherwise is foolish.
Or hopeful. Or delusional.
Whoever it may be that's causing it, they only have 2 sigils left.
Would be quite bad, right?
Don't they say that waking the Elder Dragon will start the apocalypse? They do.
I feel like there's way too many ways to start the apocalypse. That's probably right.
Maybe they're all connected, and maybe will break the last sigil. Although, I'd like to think breaking all the sigils is indeed impossible.
Because it's impossible to reach Stuart in the spirit realm, right?
It's not exactly impossible. One can make it to the spirit dragon via the astral sea at the dawn of the dying moon.
That's in 5 days, right?
Wait, in 5 days? Like in my letter? Yes, but worry not. To reach such a specific location within the astral realm, very specific rituals are necessary. A guided portal to Cassiopeia is indispensable. Said portal is located in and safely protected by the Aperture, the stronghold of the Order of Starlight. And its rituals must be performed with outstanding accuracy to withstand the treacherous astral currents. Only the highest-ranking members of the Order are privy to the knowledge. And I guarantee you, all of us would rather die than aid in the destruction of this world.
If the rest of them are half as stubborn as you are, I think we're well protected.
Exactly.
That's good then. The rest is worse.
What's bad is we don't know who's behind this, or why, by the dragons or in the endless horizon, anyone would desire something so vile.
I can already sense your next quest. But can I offer you a drink first? Your throat must be dry from all that exposition.
I wouldn't say no to a drink. Perhaps something that will keep my mind intact, defended from lunacy. I feel like I'm going mad.
Say no more. Well, that's a bit extreme. So you're telling me that whoever wrote this letter is trying to end the world? Personally, I'm kind of against that. But that's just me. Okay, this should do it. I really didn't expect the game to have such a dramatic storyline. Hop. That should do it. Nice. A delicious defense against the absurdity of evil plots.
Thank you. This makes me feel a little less conspirational. I needed a breather.
You know what else would make for a great breather?
Fable's barbecue?
Exactly.
You're right. That would be quite pleasant right now.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think the barbecue is happening today. Fable hasn't returned from their quest yet. Oh, what quest are they on? Finding Melina. But we just saw Melly on the way here.
Perhaps they found another quest while out. Heroism can be infectious like that. Innkeep, what kind of drink did you mix them?
None. Maybe we should go look for them.
Maybe so.
Please do. No one has seen them in days. And the last things I said to them, I'd hate for those words to say the last. Please help me find them.
Of course, I'm sure they could slay any monsters without us, but some extra hands couldn't hurt.
But you'll have to deliver your apologies yourself. I'll slay that beast when it comes to it.
Very well. But first we must solve our urgent sigil problem. I feel like we're just missing one piece.
Oh my god, jump scare.
A piece of what? Cake? I'd like to order my usual cake, innkeeper.
I don't serve cake, never have.
Oh, maybe you should. Another delicious delicacy would be...
Also still no blood.
No. The sorrow I'm feeling almost equals the grief I felt after the vampire glitter competition of 1389.
Oh?
I had run out of glitter. I could serve you one of your my usual drinks to alleviate that sort of headache. That would be splendid. I'd like something to enhance my immortal strength. No shopping bag shall hold me back today.
I'll see what I can do. I feel like after doing that horrid accent, I should probably mention that I am in fact French. I just somehow also suck at doing a French accent. It's quite tragic, really. There you go. Here, with all the strength of a raging fire.
Thank you, dear innkeeper. My blood is boiling with euphoria.
Any particular reason for a shopping trip?
A very particular one, dear innkeeper. It is a matter of life and death. I must head out to purchase this wondrous sustenance known as comfort food immediately.
Do you know what comfort food is?
I haven't the slightest idea, but it is rumored to restore you mortals back to full health. I'm afraid Ria will perish should she not receive it.
That sounds serious. Has she fallen ill?
A fatal case of something she called being in the zone. I assume it's highly dangerous. She refused to move away from her drawing board for over a year now. She even threw me out of the room upstairs when I offered her a blood pellet snack. How will her body handle another year without food?
That's some good news for you. Ria hasn't been sketching for a year. You guys checked in yesterday.
How fortunate!
And as for your legendary item, you should ask her about it. Generally, everyone has a different idea of what they consider comfort food.
How wondrous! Though something tells me you should give her some time before you go back upstairs to ask. Why? Call it intuition. I don't think intuition is a very good naming keeper. Want to help me find a better one? Of course, I'll think of one before the next 80 years are up. Thank you. I shall remain for a while. And once I've acquired the correct comfort food, I will make sure my friend eats every last bite. Like a vampiric mother hen to a vampiric chick.
I didn't know there were vampire chickens.
There aren't.
Do you know that for certain?
Yes. I could have sworn the ones at my family's estate had fangs. Chickens can't develop teeth. And here I thought we were comrades in blood hunger.
Chickens are so very fascinating all of their own. Did you know they have very colorful dreams?
Oh, that's nice.
I once helped a wild hen with her dream journal. I'll introduce you to sometimes. My favorite thing about chickens is that they purr when they're happy.
What charming creatures! The more I learn, the more they remind me of vampires. So simple, sweet, and ferocious, yet their origin harbors one of the greatest mysteries of life. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Or the vampire? The egg.
The egg.
Not going to weigh in?
I'm intellectually withdrawing myself from this conversation. But unlike this unsolved mystery, I do not know how vampires were created.
Would you mind elaborating? Weren't you intellectually withdrawing?
As a cleric of Cassiopeia, humility is a lifelong objective that I strive towards. As such, I must admit when I need to concede words spoken in haste, which would be now, I suppose. Please, Kyle, if you wouldn't mind expanding on what you just said. Certainly. It must have been over 5 centuries ago when a scholar stole some of the immortal blood of the dragons. The scholar offered it to Queen Annabeth, who would become the vampire's monarch.
I have never heard of Queen Annabeth. I think that was just the plot of a really challenging board game, Kyle.
Oh, you're right! So then Mike was real after all?
Mike?
Yes, it's all coming back to me now. The first vampire that walked this world was the infamous Mikael, but most of us call him Mike. He had a very close connection to the spirit dragon and his domain. Eventually, Mike struck a deal with Tuat. In exchange for guarding the dragon's realm, he would get to live forever.
But that didn't work out, I guess.
Old Mike didn't read the fine print. The spirit dragon turned out to be a trickster. Tuat turned him into a new form of undead creature, invulnerable to age and disease, but still weak to the blade. Blood was the only thing he could stomach to consume, and with time even sunlight became intolerable. Mike was no longer welcome among the living, but the dead didn't want him either. And that is how the first vampire was created. Fascinating. There's so little known about the spirit dragon and his realm. Kyle, just how do you possess knowledge that's considered ancient by today's standards? What knowledge? The knowledge you just told us about. I stumbled upon it in a grimoire I bought the other day at the local bookstore.
Nope, that was the vampire romance book Caroline recommended to you. Try again.
But of course! Dear Evelyn was such a history fanatic. How could I not pick up on a few stories? That was one of her favorites. I still dream of her deathly beautiful countenance as she narrated tales until the intruders stopped screaming. She always told the story of her progenitor Mike so softly. She would cradle a vial of his blood and her tone would turn so reverent. A secret to share just with me, she would say. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to break the last oath between us and, well,
I'm sure we can help you keep this a secret, right? A secret between new friends.
If secrecy is how we can repay you for sharing this with us, then so be it. Since you seem to be very close to her, I wanted to let you know. We traveled past Mary Castle on the way back. It looked awfully damaged. The destruction looked so fresh, if only I had passed by earlier. Clay even spotted a heavily armored silhouette a short distance away from what remained of the castle walls. We hurried over as quickly as possible, but the shadow was gone by the time we got there. As it was, only rubble remained. Was my dear Evelyn unharmed?
We don't know. The castle looked abandoned, like a ruin.
My Evelyn! What horrid fiend could have inflicted such damage? She must have fought back fiercely. May her opponent suffer twice the damage they inflicted upon her. What I would give to know her safe. I think I need to go ask Ria about her comfort food.
Well, let's give him some time to come to terms with what he just learned. Well, that's really awkward. Oh, hey! Oh my god, so many people are here.
Greetings, brave adventurers.
Great morrow, innkeeper.
There seem to be a few more bones than usual with you, Scully.
You observe correctly, my friend. They are wonderful parting gifts, aren't they? Sure are.
Care to bring me up to speak, Carolyn?
Nah, you'll survive being left hanging for a few more minutes.
You're bullying me. You're bullying your innkeeper, Carolyn.
Patience, young innkeep. Skull has been waiting to tell you the story since we left the Pale Woods. I will try to compose myself. This tale deserves the cracking of every last of my rhetorical knuckles. Let us recount our tale properly, Dame Carolyn. Hang on. I think I could go for one of your drinks first.
That can be arranged.
Something to keep my strength up. I didn't get to flex my muscles much during our quest. A good one might net your story. No pressure.
Okay. Strength, easy peasy. We'll just do a coffee again. Boop. 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 Pop. A great drink for a great story.
Aren't you lucky?
I'd like to think luck has nothing to do with it.
Perhaps not.
I might have something else to cheer you up.
Oh?
Molly's back.
Oh!
Relieved?
Like a great soul's been lifted off my shoulders.
You're right. Yes, though you might prefer to see for yourself. She and Dave left me the address to give to you.
Who?
You know them.
Right, got it. Only one person would fit such an uninspired name. They better have apologized to Melly or else.
You'll have to find out the details for yourself. Just don't keep them waiting for too long.
Don't need to tell me that. Fable isn't back then?
No. Sure are taking their time. Feeling like looking for them yet?
No, they're capable.
Just my patience is starting to wear thin.
You had some to begin with. You're pretty chatty for someone within greatsword distance.
Right. Can I interest you in one of my drinks as well, Scully? With an offer like that, my friend, how can a skeleton say no? Perhaps something to enhance my aura. I would like to do the proclamation of this tale proper justice. Okay, let's see. Something for charisma. That'll do. Okay, perfect. And that should require an infusion. That should be fine. Okay, this is okay. And a bit of this. Oh, almost missing the glass. Nice. Please enjoy. Oh my! They say manners maketh men, but this drink alone has invigorated me plenty. Can almost feel the warmth of flesh on my bones again. A pleasure to be of service.
Our quest was confusing.
Inspiring! My favorite flavor of quest.
Not enough fighting, in my opinion.
Felt like my muscles were wasting away on the way back here. But the most important muscle of all received a superb workout. The brain! Metaphorically for me, of course.
I've been wondering about that, actually. No, we're not even gonna get started on that topic.
I do have to agree, my friend. Let's not get distracted. Though I would be delighted to share my theories with you, Innkeeper. Let me know when you have an hour to spare, or 5. Now back to the task at hand.
We started by making our way westward, though our progress was slow.
Any complications? Yes, quite a few. Before embarking on this journey, I was woefully ignorant about the plight of the Fizon farmers. The less than ideal weather conditions, the flood that ruined a lot of crops, and now this pesky undead problem. I was stricken with empathy for the struggle. The least we could have done was offer up our means of transportation for any soul looking for a better life further north.
So we switched carriages 3 times. But the 3rd time we'd gotten so far off course, it took us a whole day just to get back on track, on foot.
But once our hike was over, we did get to spend a wonderful day with Dame Carolyn's cousin, Lady Danica.
That was nice, I guess.
The cousin with the undead snail problem, yes? Did you manage to liven up the garden for her?
Sure did. Just had to set up some cabbage to lead them somewhere we wouldn't be damaging any crops, and
it was just one magnificent strike. Truly a sight to behold.
It was just some undead snails, no need to have gotten so excited.
To match the excitement, Lady Danica served us some polite, positively delightful cups of tea. Bread and any accompanying finger sandwiches were some of the facts I had gleaned from observing the snails. Even lacking souls, they still displayed some pack behavior. They acted nothing like real animals, of course, but somehow I was struck with empathy for their plight. To unconsciously seek out a manner of instinctual action, despite the lack of anything to grant them a conscious objective. Is there any more transparent yearning for purpose than that? My apologies. It appears what they say about old age is true. You can't help but philosophize.
And you couldn't help but relate?
In a way. One can't help but wonder whether any choice I make is truly my own, or just a post-mortem reflex of these old bones. Perhaps even my thirst for knowledge.
And yet your enjoyment of it seems genuine.
Truly, Innkeeper, you have a way with words.
Just lots of experience.
Though that might be, my words seem rather foolish now. I count myself as quite fortuitous that despite all that my memory lacks, I can delight in learning it all again. Does it really matter, then, where such an urge comes from? Anyhow, my apologies, Dame Caroline. I completely derailed our epic tale. Allow me to make up for it by continuing post-haste. We departed after that lovely cup of tea, and finally headed for the Pale Woods. Lady Danica provided us with a cart and a trusty steed, a cow with the most lovely temperament.
Her name's Lieselotte.
We turned to greet the gentleman that passed us on our way to the woods. What magnificent shadow armor he was wearing. Something about it felt oddly familiar.
That's kind of suspicious.
Perhaps it was only my hope that he would look just as gallant after our quest. Lieselotte violently took us on to the edge of the forest, where maliciousness permeated the very air we breathed.
What he means is it stunk real bad. We left Lieselotte there, sparing her the stench seemed like the right thing to do.
And forth we ventured.
Didn't take a long time to find what we were looking for. The place was crawling with them, which also explained the damn smell.
Some reason the miasma didn't seem to bother me much.
Most respectfully, you don't have a nose.
Of course.
Anyways.
There was a veritable horde before us, an army of undead creatures shambling their way through the forest.
One gnawed tree at a time.
They are awfully interested in those trees, it's true.
I was itching to turn to them. But remembering the plan, I stepped back with the head of my greatsword.
The crucial part of a successful negotiation is that you don't go into it blind, and so we observed. The undead creatures were displaying similar patterns to the snails. They weren't just stumbling around senselessly. They seemed to be following a pack leader, a representative. That simplified things considerably. My first course of action was clear. I let Dame Caroline know of my intentions.
Seemed reasonable enough.
While I circled the group to get to the leader at the front, she remained hidden in the shadows of the thicket. I walked up to the leader and the skeleton, making sure I displayed an open and respectful disposition.
I suppose they were not open and respectful in turn? Nope. Before I could even react, the skeleton had bitten down on Skola's arm.
Agony! Is what I would have said if I hadn't been protected by my frost armor and your excellent drink mixing skills.
Always glad to hear my drinks are protecting my clients on their quests.
My friend, your drinks are astonishingly potent, maybe too potent. As soon as the undead creature bit down, their teeth shattered upon impact. The leader recoiled immediately. As the others surrounding us froze, the leader fell to the ground, cradling their face with their hands. Curiously, when they regained composure, the expression was filled with joy.
Still no idea how you can read an expression on the skull.
They're actually quite expressive for a skeleton.
They do have expressions.
You just have to get used to looking a little harder for them.
Now you're just pulling my paw.
I have no problem reading Skull's expressions.
He has a beautiful smile.
Now you're just making me blush, you rascal.
Let's move on.
The teeth shattering was quite worrying. Made us re-examine the bite marks on the trees around us. Peculiarly, the bite marks here were quite a bit more shallow than what we had seen in other parts of the forest.
Which means?
All those undead creatures had severe dental issues. The leader was so happy because the frost armor's chill was dulling their pain. The others' teeth are also in truly poor condition. Looking at their behavior, that seemed to be causing them severe pain. Coupled with the hunger for trees, it became a never-ending cycle of suffering. It should never have gotten so bad. I asked them why they hadn't reported the issue to their necromancer. It was clearly starting to impact the fulfillment of their objective.
That got him really heated. They tried to rip Scully apart again.
But Dame Caroline skillfully resolved the situation with a bit of intimidation. Turns out, they didn't even have dental!
Caroline, I'm with Scully on this one. They had no benefits, nothing. They were just expected to be quiet and follow orders. That doesn't sound right to me.
It's a scam, that's what it is. No sick leave, no compensation, no PTO.
They didn't want to hear it.
We're doing what we love, we don't need any fancy benefits. But you should have seen the state they were in.
They couldn't even take a proper chomp out of the trees out of bark anymore. What would happen when the trees deteriorated even further? Good question. The necromancer would replace them with another undead creature in a heartbeat. That was when Scully really got to them, I think. The words were just pouring out of my mouth, and I was elated they were the right ones. The light reflecting off the armor really dazzled them too. Any skeleton worth their calcium should be able to acquire such armor. They needn't be bound by such a neglectful necromancer. My apologies. It appears I somewhat lost my composure just now. You might soon be contacted to host the first UFU gathering, Innkeeper. Union for the Undead. Oh my god, they unionized. UFU 1755. Never forget your roots. They're welcome to visit anytime. I think they really want to improve their situation. Most respectably, they promise to leave the Pale Woods alone as well. One of the UFU's goals is to find a more sustainable way to deal with their obsession eventually. They're heading for the Necromancer now. There are a bunch of demands to settle. They graced us with a great deal of parting gifts before we left. We got to the Halixet Brook of one of them when they attacked in Carlin. The leader gave me the teeth we couldn't put back into the skull. Oh, and this eyeball! I'm overjoyed we managed to resolve our quest in a peaceful manner. Can't deny your resolution was pretty effective. Good to know you're both happy with how it ended. Those are the outcomes I most enjoy hearing about from my patrons. Oh, but we did get you something as well. Right, here. The trees look really chewed on and dead, but the berries seemed like they were thriving. They're the ones Elfie was going on about. Not like they're here to appreciate them now. I guess you can have them. Just set them aside to make Fable a drink when they're back. Sounds fair. Ooh, ghost berries. Exciting. Also, while I was plucking the berries, the spirits of the trees gave us a little keepsake, because they were so glad we stopped all the gnawing. Sadly, I don't have any more storage space left in my hat, so we wanted you to have it as well. Now we can always indulge in sweet memories when we visit. Nice! Oh, now it's kind of symmetrical. That's nice. I think I know just the place for it. Thank you very much. Scully, you ever thought of becoming an advocate for this kind of stuff? Not that I can usually stand them, but you seem to really care about all this. Oh no, I'm but a mere heap of bones here to learn all I can. But it is a gentleman's way to speak up when evil is committed in front of you. So I don't suppose I'll just stop doing that anytime soon. Sounds good to me. I still wonder what all those undead creatures were doing there. No idea, we didn't ask. Hunger? Seemed to be heading north before we talked to them. Maybe they were searching for more trees? The Pale Woods is one of the largest forests in Fazoa. Don't see a reason for them to leave the area before it was barren. Unless they were ordered to. Don't they typically come with a necromancer attached? You don't suppose the gentleman we encountered outside the woods could have been that very necromancer? I don't think farmers wear armor like what you described. Oh, if I'd known what a dastardly negligent necromancer they were, I would never have offered that greeting. Just realized where they could have been heading. It's true there aren't many woods around there compared to the Pale Woods. But the giant roots in the capital must look pretty good to some tree-obsessed undeads. There might be tons more headed there even now. Oh, damn indeed. Uh-oh. Just to clarify, you believe hordes of undead creatures are marching towards the capital? Well, towards the roots would be my guess. I see. They're heading towards Themis to nod the divine roots, as if to fell the tree. Precisely. Not that such an action alone could destroy the whole thing, but it would certainly do some damage. What in the hell are you talking about? As I just stated, someone is trying to destroy the Ether Tree. The Starfall, the Primordial Flood, even the interplanar portals. It's all part of a big plot. Was that not clear? No. Oh my, that is awful. And insane if true. Is it working? Unfortunately so. Or do you see stars in the night sky? I mean, there's one. There used to be more. And we don't know who's behind it yet either. Well, Carolyn, Mr. Scully, the gentle person you greeted outside the woods, you thought he might be a necromancer. He certainly bore the armor of one. Did he seem like he wanted to kill everyone? Not particularly. That can be hard to tell sometimes. Politeness and the desire for homicide aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. Necromancers resurrect dead things to make undead creatures. Indeed they do. So, Scully, you're resurrected, right? Do you remember anything about it? Well, I admit at first I recalled very little from the start of my new life. I mostly stumbled around trying to remember my manners. But my memories, or rather, the memories of my body, which I suppose are also my memories, have been getting clearer lately. Let me try to focus my thoughts. I believe I awakened in the archives in the Everbloom. The Everbloom?
Did you encounter any bleak stalkers? Why, I did indeed. They seemed very hungry for my bones. Such interesting creatures. They remind me of the old intellect wombats. Do those beasts still roam for Zoa? No, what are intellect wombats?
Priorities here. Scully, who woke you up?
A gentleman of fine age. I believe he was there to do research? I remember candles held over notes scribbled on paper, ink stains on fingertips. He must have found me near my friend's study. I remember I was looking for her when... After I woke, I simply left. How rude and uninquisitive of me. I should have asked what he was researching. I could have helped. Be glad you did not aid him. We found his notes. They spoke of the destruction of the universe.
Did the guy from the woods remind you of the one in the archives?
Now that you mention it, I wasn't conscious enough to recognize faces when I rose, but I knew that armor looked familiar. I think I saw it when I first opened my eyes. Metaphorically, of course, I no longer have eyelids. A necromancer is behind all this. Is he trying to break the sigils just to get to Tuat, the spear dragon, in the realm of death? Sigils? Are you perhaps speaking of the sigils of Alcahest? My friend was researching them once. I thought them a wild figment of their imagination. Seems like they're not, unfortunately.
Do necromancers usually want to destroy Tuat?
No, but they do defy his laws of life and death. Perhaps he craves access to all the souls in the Spirit Dragon's guard. Or he plans to destroy death for once, and for all with his perversions. But my dears, to destroy Tuat, one must find him first. That in itself would be quite the impossible task, no? Not exactly. The spirit realm is well protected, but there are ways to get to him.
Can you kill death?
I don't know, but merely attempting it sounds disastrous. Miss Anwar, Mr. Moore, Tuat is the god of death. No matter how insane the necromancer, no one could possess a weapon powerful enough to fight a god. Only weapons made by dragons can harm them. We all know this.
You mean like Earth's great axe?
A weapon forged for the dragons by the dragons, meant only for their claws, the axe. It could certainly cut through the barrier between the astral sea and the upper world, if not through Tuat himself.
Would stealing an axe from a dragon count as a sigil? Alright, you lost me again.
I talked about this already. Keep up.
I'll explain later.
It might count as a sigil if it awakens air or damages their plane. Or should not be awakened under any circumstances. Nor should the legendary weapon fall into the hands of a mere mortal. My, this is quite concerning.
I'm right there with you.
This seems like too insane of a plot. Even for some big evil bad guy. They always seem to be reaching for new heights in their dastardly schemes. If we're correct, this one plans to steal Earth's weapon, break the sigil, and then destroy Tuat. Dragons be with us.
What about the undead creatures marching towards the capital?
They must be a distraction, a way to keep anyone who would interfere off his back. Quite the dangerous distraction, if you ask me.
Those poor husks shouldn't be snacking away at those roots either way, should they?
No.
And those sigils of alcohol zest you keep talking about could do that? Destroy the tree?
The spirit realm rests above all others in the canopy of our world. If what we believe to be this monstrous plan succeed, it will collapse down onto the rest of the ether tree. Not only would that free all dead souls, it would destroy the tree, our home, our cosmos, and everything below it. It would destroy our world as we know it. Not to mention Tuat might die. I don't think I have to explain to you why death dying would be a bad thing.
Once again, can he die? Wouldn't risk it.
So I believe this plot of his has to be limited somewhat, no? Perhaps to the transitional period between the astral moon and the dying moon? Only then would the veil between Cassiopeia and Tuat be thin enough for a ritual of such magnitude to succeed.
Wait, you mean this can only happen the night between the 35th of Cassiopeia and the 1st of Tuat? So it can only work in 4 days, or next year.
Precisely. It's like the letter, oh my god. I guess you can't have a ritual without unnecessarily complicated rules. It is common courtesy. Clay, I've been wondering, remember that man we saw on our way back near Mara Castle?
Yes, do you think he might have been the same guy?
I do. Strange armor sounds familiar, and as does convenient proximity to destruction. And more so, that blood of the first vampire Cal spoke of. Part of the ritual to safely traverse the astral sea involves having an associated anchor for your destination. To find Tuat, you need something connected to him.
Like the blood of a vampire eternally bound to him?
Yes, maybe our villain got his hand on it. Perhaps he knows more of Cassiopeia than anticipated.
All of this out of context stuff is giving me a headache. Innkeep, got another drink to spare to help with all this mess? Something powerful enough to get me through this. Anything for you, Caroline. Man, she really chucked this one, didn't she? Okay, this is a pretty long day compared to the others. Okay. Here we go. Oh. I think I'm missing. What am I missing? Oh, I didn't pour enough. My bad. I put all the strength I have into this drink. Enjoy. I think you just put parts of insanity back together. Thanks a lot. Anytime. So this madman, if he can't get the axe, he can't kill the spirit dragon, right? Correct. Great, let's stop him from getting the axe then. Great idea. I know. Now how do we do that? First, well, the necromancer needs to fight it. For that, he'd have to go to Earth's realm. Thanks to the portals, that is entirely within the realm of possibility. One would simply have to journey through one of the portals to the Twilight Chasm, and then enter the endless caves through the Nightmare Realm. Nothing easier than that. Didn't Melly see some weird new bone markers near the Twilight Chasm portal in the Moon Swamps? Could they be there to remind someone, say a necromancer, of the way to the portal? They could. Good, the moon pools are much easier to reach than Boreas. We could catch the necromancer before he ventures into the chasm, and most certainly before he gets the axe. Great, let's go beat his Hold on. What if you don't succeed? Have faith in you, but he sounds powerful. How about a backup plan? Hey, just say it, but you're not wrong. Thanks for looking out for us. If we don't manage to stop him from getting the weapon, we stand no chance in a fight against him. Even your divine strikes would be no match, Miss Anwar. That is true. We would need an incredibly powerful weapon to match his. Not sure if it's enough, but I do have the sword I got from my baba. Let me see it. This is remarkable craftsmanship, infused with minor divine powers. Incredible! But I'm afraid even this cannot rival the Great Axe in any capacity. What if it was mixed with dragonfire? What? Do you happen to have such a thing on hand, young lad? No, but I know where we can find some. The ever-burning flame in the Highlands is dragonfire. The one you wanted to see, Tia. I think now might be a good time for that. You're right. Dragonfire merged with Caroline's blessed sword. It wouldn't be as powerful as the axe, but it might give us a fighting chance. If we had a master craftsman to forge it, that is. Ria, she's a blacksmith. There's no one better for the job. I'm sure she'd love to forge such a weapon. I'm sure I can convince her of the importance, Caroline. You got that right. Leave the blacksmith recruiting to me. Very well. I'm sure Master Smith Frostgrip would be delighted with this opportunity. Having her on our side makes me even more confident that we can stop this necromancer's plan, with the utmost faith in us. And I know the aperture and its astral portal are well protected even if we should fail, though I don't believe we will. Because I know I'm strong enough to best this battle, and that Clay's as well. And there's others too. Yes, the others too. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if the 4 of you will be enough. Don't worry, there's a lot of people who can ask for help. Like you. Like me. Ask away. I knew we could count on you. You collect everything we talk about, right? I try my best. Could you write us up 2 quests for all this? I think we should split our resources so we get the backup plan going at the same time. Good idea, young man. Flassa will give us an excuse to have your drinks help us. Not that you need an excuse, but I appreciate you following my rituals. I'll see what I can do. I should have something written up first thing in the morning. I trust in you as you trust in us. Deeply? Yes. Deeply, and with the knowledge that together we are stronger. We'll see you in the morning then. Caroline, come with us. We owe you a few explanations before we make you do any persuasion work for us. You got that right. Let's go. I cannot miss out on more possible details. I shall see you in the morning, Innkeep. Thank you for all your help. Let's save the world, alright? Let's play. Good luck. Ooh. It's getting really interesting. Okay. So, the flame one. This is another flame one. This one. No. Oh, this one. Here we go. Okay, so that's for making the weapon. There's also the one with the undead. Oh. The undead can't seem to get enough fiber.
Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Okay, that's the one with the undead. And then a third one is... should be these? No. The Legend of the Axe, the Wondrous Plane of Ur, to reach her Turat. The enemy aims for the destruction, he needs the Great Axe. What? Oh, sorry, Ur. There we go. Okay, that plum one. It's really bothering me. I've had it for ages. Alright, here we go. Act 3, Twilight Zinnias. I think I'm gonna leave it off here for today. And then we'll do a last part for the finale. I think we're really approaching the end of this game. Really excited. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, if you haven't seen the other episodes, check out the description. I will be linking the VODs for the other parts of this down below. So I do recommend having a look at that. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. Take care and looking forward to seeing you for the finale. Bye!